Welcome back, everybody, to the Westlake Hornets Team Builder Dynasty. Today, we're going to be covering some high school football throughout the state of Utah, going over the state playoffs. We're going to briefly cover the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and then watch the state championship in its entirety. Let's get ourselves familiar with this bracket. The top two seeds are the teams that have made the state championship 2 years in a row now, with the number one seed being the two-time defending champion Ogden Tigers. Burmester High is second. The rest of the teams in this tournament are Fremont, Salt Lake City High, Ibrahim, Pleasant Grove, Linden, and Provo. So let's take a look at the Elite Eight scores. Ogden beats Provo pretty easily, 45-3. Burmester High handles Linden, 31-7. Salt Lake City High beats Ibrahim, 31-13. And then the big upset, 3-seeded Fremont loses to 6-seeded Pleasant Grove, 17-10. So now let's look at the semifinal games, and both were a lot closer than they should have been. Starting with the 2-seeded Burmester High Black Bears, they defeat Pleasant Grove 27-24. Big game on the ground for Mikael Harrison, the 4-star running back. He runs for 2 touchdowns. And then the top player in the country, Richard Rivers Jr., with a dominant defensive performance, leading the way for Burmester High. Meanwhile, for Pleasant Grove, sophomore quarterback Jake Grover showed some flashes. He wasn't perfect. A touchdown for Will on the ground, a touchdown for Chet Kucharski in the air, and then a rushing touchdown for freshman wide receiver Isaiah Thomas. Looking at the other semifinal game, in an overtime shootout, the Ogden Tigers squeak past Salt Lake City High 49-46. Dominant showing from future Westlake quarterback Keith Fleming with 6 all-purpose touchdowns. Fleming is also this team's kicker and happened to get the game-winning field goal in overtime. Another future Westlake Hornet, Noah Cox, with 3 touches and 3 touchdowns. Whenever he got the ball, he scored. Looking at it for Salt Lake City High, freshman quarterback Lanston Apple carved up this defense, throwing for 5 touchdowns. This Apple family is a group of kids who are really starting to get into the high school ranks. This is the next dominant high school football family, so you got to watch out for these kids. Nathan Apple with 2 receiving touchdowns. And Salt Lake City High is going to be a team to reckon with going forward. With Ogden and Burmester High losing a ton of talent this offseason, they're not going to be the 2 top dogs anymore because Pleasant Grove and Salt Lake City High are gaining so much talent. There's going to be a ton of parity at the top next year, but for now, we get another state championship between Ogden and Burmester High. Here we go, everybody. The Utah State High School Football State Championship is here, as the Burmester High Black Bears set to take on the Ogden Tigers. And this is, what, the 3rd straight year these two teams have faced off in the state championship, at least? And I think this matchup is a little bit different than the matchups in the past. And I say that because for a while it's been Ogden and Burmester at the top of high school football in Utah. But we're starting to see teams like Salt Lake City High and Pleasant Grove really grow young, great football teams. And I think this will be the last time, maybe not the last time these two teams face off in the championship, but it'll be the last time these two teams face off as the 2 main alpha dogs of high school football. There are teams coming. A lot of future Westlake Hornets in this game. For Ogden, of course, quarterback Keith Fleming, along with wide receivers Noah Cox and Lewis Vincent, have all committed to the Hornets. For Burmester High, their tight end Paul Richard committed to Westlake, and a couple of their defensive linemen, Vuksin Marazov and Richard Rivers Jr., are potentially going to commit in the offseason. So without further ado, let's get this show underway. But first, got to meet the starting lineups. This Burmester High offense looks a lot different than it did last year. No Carter Westwood, no Cassius Troy. There are a lot newer and younger receivers taking the helm. The quarterback, however, is the same as last year, senior Alex Westwood, Westwood is yet to commit. He is currently a 3-star prospect, so not quite as good of a prospect as his older brother was. Westwood going to be sacked on first down, only for a loss of 1. It's Russell Ingram Jr. who makes the play. Alex Westwood here is a very different type of quarterback to his older brother, Steven. Steven uses his athleticism a lot more, is a lot more mobile. Alex, meanwhile, is more of that traditional pocket passer, is on 3rd and 7. Alex Westwood doesn't really know what to do with it. He's just going to heave it up, say, why not try to get lucky? And it's broken up by Calvin Owens. Ogden is led by quarterback Keith Fleming, one of the most exciting and explosive players in high school football. Of course, he will be committing to Westlake. And he might be the long-term starter once Stephen Westwood leaves, as Javier Chandler unable to convert the 3rd down. I'm confused why they gave him the ball in that play. I think this will be a pretty high-scoring game, but so far, both defenses have opened this one off well. Alex Westwood on first down loses 13 once again. It's Russell Ingram Jr. who gets the sack. He's been busy so far today. 2nd and long now after the sack. The problem with this Burmester High offense this season is, for one thing, there aren't elite wide receivers to bail out Alex Westwood, and because of that and his lack of athleticism, this offense hasn't been nearly as efficient as it has been in seasons past. Still very good, obviously, as he's going to look for his younger brother, Cody Westwood, who gets 22, Cody wearing that number 9, the same number that Carter Westwood wore throughout high school and has worn so far in college, with Westlake trying to carry on the family name, and now it's 3rd and short. 3rd and 1 for Burmester High. Let's see if they can convert. Westwood is joined by the potential Ohio State Buckeye commit, Mikael Harrison. He gets the football. Harrison has a few blocks down the field, is eventually going to be chased inside the 30, but not before gaining 28. Westlake is in the battle for Mikael Harrison, but due to their lack of need at running back, they haven't really pursued on him too much, so I expect him to be a Buckeye when it's all said and done. With the passing offense for Burmester High not being nearly as good as it's been in years past, that's prompted the opportunity for Mikael Harrison to break out, and he has certainly shined. He's had a phenomenal season this year. It's Alex Westwood. He's going to take a shot for the end zone, and it's caught by the junior Josiah Mendez, who's developed into this team's number 1 target. That'll be a touchdown, and Burmester High will strike first. Ogden's play calling really confused me on the last drive. It was 3rd and 6, and they decided to run it up the middle of Javier Chandler, even though they have Keith Fleming, who's extremely dynamic. He also has a pretty nice arm, by the way, as he connects with Nathan Barrett for a gain of 34. Someone just blatantly missed that tackle. That was senior nickel cornerback J.B. Roth who missed the tackle. Roth is a Southern Utah commit, as he will not be entering the FBS ranks. Javier Chandler now with a nice run, putting Fourier Carlson on a stiff arm. That's a gain of 17 for Chandler, who's had a great season. Obviously, replacing one of the top running backs in the nation in Irving Porter is no easy task, and Chandler, in my opinion, has flourished. After Burmester High's scoring drive, it looks like the Ogden Tigers will follow suit, as here's Chandler. He gets hit hard immediately in the backfield by one of the linebackers. I couldn't tell who that was, but still a nice play. Quarter number 1 in the books. It's Burmester High who leads this game 7-0. 3rd and 8 at the 8 for Ogden. Fleming going to hand it off for Chandler again. Why don't they trust Fleming to create a big play in this situation? Javier Chandler only gets 1. 4th and 8. Here's Keith Fleming for the field goal attempt. Yes, Keith Fleming is this team's kicker. He actually has quite the leg, so he's not no slouch, and he barely made that kick. He barely made that. Okay, we've got some really big news. As you can tell, Alex Westwood is not in the backfield at quarterback. It's freshman C.C. Vaughn. So what happened is on the touchdown, Westwood rolled on his right ankle, a tough fall. His right ankle's been bothering him all season, and he might have to miss the rest of this football game. So it'll be the freshman C.C. Vaughn the rest of the way. Nice pass for Kadarius Franklin, who gets 18. And Franklin's been a talented player. He's really done a good job of stepping up in this offense with guys like, obviously, Carter Westwood, Cassius Troy, Evo Iluko, all gone. CeCe Vaughn reminds me a lot of a younger Keith Fleming. A guy whose arm was still a work in progress, but had excellent skills outside the pocket, phenomenal scrambler, great with the ball in his hands. As Vaughn on third down, going to connect with the open man. It's once again Kadaris Franklin, who gets 25 this time. Burmester High is moving the ball down the field pretty well with CeCe Vaughn in at quarterback. There's Russell Ingram Jr. again making the play. Ingram has been an absolute problem today. 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. He's made a few nice plays that have not shown on the box score as well. Burmester High just recently converted a 3rd and 9. This time, they're going to have to get the 3rd and 14. Vaughn under a load of pressure. Gets it to his favorite target so far, Kadaris Franklin, who gets 19 yards. Franklin, on this possession alone, has 3 catches for 62 yards. CeCe Vaughn has gotten to play in some garbage time situations this season, mainly because he is the projected starter next year with Alex Westwood graduating. However, this is his first real test in a super big opportunity. Here's Vaughn, gonna run with it, being chased by Ingram, and CeCe Vaughn will get tackled at the 1, trying to show off the running ability. This is the 9th play of the drive, 1st and goal. Vaughn will toss it for Mikkel Harrison. Can he outrun the defender? He doesn't outrun him, but he still scores the touchdown. Burmester High now leads this game by 2 possessions. I think the play calling for Ogden today has been really conservative. And in Keith Fleming's final game, you got to let the guy try to take over, make big plays. Fleming, on the run, gets it to Nathan Barrett, who only gets 12. That's Darkeem Willis, who brings him down, and it's 4th and short. Burmester High has a chance to make this game 21-3 going into halftime. Ogden was favored in this game, and for good reason, but the Black Bears have just been far better. Vaughn on 1st down, going to take a shot for Cody Westwood inside the 30. This Burmester High team is on a roll right now. Deep ball for Cody, that's a gain of 39, and a Burmester High 1st down. Even though Burmester High is up 2 possessions, going to try to make that 3 possessions here shortly, they just can't get comfortable. This Ogden team is elite. You can't get comfortable. Here is Vaughn. Going to go deep, and it is nearly caught, but it is going to be incomplete, and we're going to have to see the field goal unit come out. This is a 44-yard field goal attempt for Burmester High to make it a 14-point lead. The kick is up, and it is wide right. No good. He couldn't quite place it where he wanted to, and it'll remain 14-3. Ogden has 2 timeouts. If there's anyone in high school football you can depend on to make a big play, it's normally Keith Fleming, but he fumbles it. It's Big Tuna Richard Rivers Jr. who forces it, and Burmester High recovers. The future Westlake Hornet, Keith Fleming, getting strip sacked by a potential future Westlake Hornet, and Richard Rivers, the most dominant force in high school football. Richard Rivers Jr. is the top-rated player in this year's class, regardless of state, position, whatever, and he's actually supposed to only be a junior. He reclassified to the senior class. Here's Mikkel Harrison. He's going to run out of bounds quickly. That's a smart play. Another field goal attempt. Burmester High missed their 1st field goal. This one's going to be a little bit easier. They do make it. So after that chaotic end of the 1st half, the Black Bears still lead this game 17-3. Ogden's got to change up the play calling. We haven't seen enough of Keith Fleming keeping the ball in his hands for runs. They've got to be aggressive, or else there's no way they win. This is a major opportunity here for Keith Fleming. Can he go into that takeover mode and really just dominate when the lights shine the brightest? 3rd down and 5. Fleming going to run with it. He has the easy 1st down. Big conversion for Keith Fleming. He gets 10. Nice run by Fleming. Now it's 1st down. Fake handoff for Javier Chandler. Fleming absolutely trucks Vuksin Morozov. What a play. Morozov, a 5-star defensive end who couldn't commit to Westlake, just got annihilated by Fleming. Very nice pair of runs there for Keith Fleming. Now it's 1st down. Fleming going to look to throw, and under a ton of pressure, and he's going to be picked off by Dixon. He was just under a lot of pressure on that play, and he just decided to play hero ball because at this point in the game, you got to try to play hero ball pretty much. It's Malik Dixon, the sophomore, who gets the INT. This is do or die time for Ogden. This team really has to be clutch right now if they want any chance of winning this game. First down, CC Vaughn under pressure. That's a strip sack. D-Duck Venegas with the force. It is recovered, however, by Burmester High, but that's still a big play for the young linebacker Venegas. 4th and 9 at the 39. Burmester High has decided to say, screw it, we're going to put matters into our own hands and go for it. Vaughn over to Paul Richard, and he is wrapped up. It's once again. Wait. Yeah, no, he didn't get it. Okay. I was confused there for a second. Once again, it's D-Doc Venegas, who had the strip sack earlier, forcing the stop on the future Westlake commit, Paul Richard. Ogden is moving the football slowly but surely down the field. They still got time. They're only down by 2 scores. They're definitely not out of this game. Fleming gonna go deep for the future Westlake Hornet, Noah Cox. What a catch. Noah Cox with an incredible grab, one-handed snag, as these two, Fleming and Cox, are hopefully going to continue to make these types of plays on Saturdays for Westlake. The other main receiver on this Ogden team, Lewis Venice, who of course is also committed to Westlake, has been fairly quiet today, and I think he's the better prospect over Noah Cox. As Fleming scrambling, looking for the end zone, and it's caught by the freshman Jean-Michel Baguet, the France native, with the score. Excellent throw from Keith Fleming, and it's now a 1-score game. Now we are in the 4th quarter. Burmester High is still in the driver's seat, but this game is a little bit closer. And the more I watch CC Vaughn, the more I find myself impressed. He has really played well today. 2nd and 3. Vaughn is going to be sacked by the safety. That is Jackie Franklin, who makes the play. Now it's 3rd and long for the Black Bears. This play is really big for both sides. I think it's safe to say Ogden has most of the momentum right now. Burmester High can get a lot of that back with a conversion. Vaughn, and as he throws over to Mikael Harrison, who only gets 2. The play is made by Sean Love, and Ogden will get it back with 4 minutes to play. In what could be Keith Fleming's final high school game, he has the chance to drive down the field here and tie it. Ogden starting this possession off at the 16. Play action fake. Fleming looking to throw it. Gonna look for Noah Cox, who fakes out the defender. That's a great start to the drive. Noah Cox gains 23. Ogden quarterback Keith Fleming has bruised his elbow, but he's going to tough it out. He wants to stay in this game and try to potentially tie it up for Ogden. Fleming on 1st down gets it to Jean-Michel Baguet, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the game, and Ogden will tie it up at 17. Now we get to see if CC Vaughn can lead his boys down the field to victory. 17-17, 1 minute and 47 seconds to go. Can a 9th grader, CC Vaughn, lead his team down the field and win the state title? Vaughn, he will get it to Josiah Mendez. That's a good start to the drive. All Burmester High needs is 3 points. That's it. This game is tied up at 17. A field goal would take the lead and probably result to a win. Vaughn, gonna be sacked. Lionel Bissett with a massive sack for the Ogden Tigers, and now it's 2nd and long. Cody Westwood has 69 yards today. Nice. Anyway, it's 3rd and 12 at around the 50 with about a minute to go. This is easily the most important play of the game. Vaughn, beautiful dot for Kadarius Franklin, and that's a gain of 16. Franklin was wide open. Nobody covered him, and that's a Burmester High 1st down. They did review the Kadarius Franklin 1st down, and my goodness, it was close. But since the original call was a 1st down, you had to give the benefit of the doubt, and the play ended up standing. Here's Josiah Mendez now to the 20. Burmester High, I think it's safe to say, is officially in field goal range. For what it's worth, both teams have all 3 timeouts, but I expect Burmester High to run the ball here and try to take some clock off. Here's Mikael Harrison. He gets the 1st down. That is massive. Ogden calls time. Although it looks like Burmester High is not going to kneel it, I think they should. Force Ogden to call a timeout, and then on 3rd and goal, knee it again, just let the clock go. They're not going to do that. Mikael Harrison does score the touchdown, so you can't really complain with that. And Mikael Harrison, the potential Buckeye, is the one who could be the hero here in the state championship. Usually, the past 2 years, it's been Burmester High who needs to drive down the field right at the end of the game. This year, it's Ogden. 33 seconds and 1 timeout left for Ogden. Will their magic run out, or will they keep this going? Fleming on first down. Gonna look for the tight end, Jean-Michel Baguier, and that's a nice start to the drive. 20 seconds left. Ogden does still have 1 timeout. Play fake. Fleming stumbling. Not only does he lose yards, but Ogden has to call their final timeout. That's huge. 4th and 17. 11 seconds left. This is it. If Ogden does not convert, then Burmester High wins the championship. Fleming scrambling. Gonna go deep for Venice, and it's gonna be intercepted by Miles. And that is how this one will end. Burmester High has won the Utah State National Championship, and Keith Fleming's high school career ends off with a pick. A freshman, C.C. Vaughn, came in when he was not expecting to play today and won his team the national championship. For Ogden, Keith Fleming's numbers were not great. You can't really blame him. They dug themselves into a really big hole in the first half, and Keith Fleming was supposed to play hero ball in the second half, and he did a pretty good job of it, leading a very nice comeback. Not the most efficient day. He did throw a pair of interceptions, but he had to play hero ball, so once again, you can't fully blame him. Running the ball, Javier Chandler was very good. Fleming, he was kind of underwhelming on the ground. Jean-Michel Baguier had a great game. Louis Venice was quiet, though. Only 1 catch for the future Hornet. Defensively, hot start for Russell Ingram. But the defense was not able to be clutch when they needed to. This guy, though, Didac Venegas, had a phenomenal game. He had a few really big plays for Burmester High. Alex Westwood was fine when he was in the game. But C.C. Vaughn was really efficient, really played well. Mikael Harrison had a good game, 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. Kadarius Franklin was very good. Josiah Mendez was very good. Cody Westwood was very good. And then defensively, defensive play of the game has to go to Big Tuna, Richard Rivers, who had that strip sack fumble at the end of the first half. Miles with an interception. Malik Dixon with an interception. That's how this game ends. Burmester High gets their revenge. They are the state champions. And next episode, we have the national championship. Westlake versus Tennessee. Stay tuned.